Hello and welcome to Maple Sugaring 101. First of all, start with a brushless drill that has reverse and also can be locked for pulling it out. And also we've got a 1/2 inch screw bit or regular drill bit, which actually has a really sharp point to it. We want that as opposed to a spade bit so that we're not breaking off steel in the tree when we set the tap, and also 1/2 inch to allow the taps to be set. So we have a couple different kind of taps here. This one is a newer one and it has a notch in it, you see, to hold the hook in place, and that hook also has a little notch in it so that it can be taken off for cleaning. And this is I believe, galvanized aluminum. I'm not sure. It's pretty hardy, and it also has an old-fashioned hook on it. You can hook things the other way if need be to hook extra buckets on, or lines, or so forth. And the opening for it is underneath, which is different than the older tap. These taps, one second here. This is a hook, more modern hook, and this is the tap. Just see if I can hold that with one hand while I do this with the other. On this tap, we put the hook in so that it's aimed like so, and it doesn't go past that point, and then that goes into the hole that's in the tree, the drill hole. And the sap follows along this line instead, which is a little bit different. We've got the little 4 points, and we have the line along here, which allows it to pick up sap from above as well. And then we have a little bit of a longer chute, and some people hook theirs a little bit, aim it down with pliers or whatever, and these get banged up quite a bit year after year. But anyway, 2 different kinds of taps. And then we have lids, and those I'll explain and show those in a couple minutes as we do them. And we have buckets, and these are galvanized steel. So let's go over to a tree. Another thing that's helpful is to know your trees ahead of time so that you know exactly what you're tapping. We have a couple sugar maples in here. This is a sugar maple. It's a little too far downhill for me. There's a sugar maple here as well. And it's good to know these ahead of time and at the right time of year so that you're not tapping something that's not a sugar maple or not a red maple. Red maples are also tappable, and they're a good choice if you're out of the woods for red sugar maples. 2 other things that I'm looking at when I go to tap a tree is, where's the trunk, or which trunk am I working on? This tree has 2 trunks, and you want to have the taps set roughly at a good height for you to reach, which is right about in here, this range. I'm going to come around a little bit more just to have our tap in a good area where it's going to get a lot of pull from, I would say that side. Actually, I would go that side, but it's a little bit of a hill, and it'll be challenging to get to. Again, this is sugar maple, and I'll be putting it in probably right around this mossy area, or just above it. Maybe I'll go just below it, but we want to set the tap in with a slightly upward angle to it, so that should it get loose or whatever during the season, it can be pulled relatively easily, but also for that bucket that's hanging from the hook, so that it doesn't just drop out easily. You want to have it slightly upward or straight in, so that it doesn't drop out and fall out. I'm going to go ahead and tap this one and see where we're at. Give myself a little bit of space to work with. Here we are. Check it out. It's already flowing. which is great. Good to see. I'm gonna just clean it out a little bit. You can see it's quite wet. It's not going to gush out, of course. It's not going to squirt or anything like that. Grab our tap, hook. Again, putting the, it's hard to show you because it's right in the camera there. Putting the hook on the tap and setting the tap in. And it should be hammered in. And there's that. I'm going to hammer it in with the drill itself because I don't have a hammer with me. And in a few minutes, that will start to flow. And then that's set, and this hook is somewhat loose and easy, and it's aimed slightly up, and the bucket gets hooked from that, which I'll do promptly. That nice little opening on the back of the bucket goes right onto the hook, and it hangs thus. It does sway around a little bit. There's almost no way of preventing that. But there is a slight way of doing that, and I'll show you with the lid. The lid can go around the edge, and if you look at the lid, it has kind of like grooves or hooks. That top edge of it is bent over slightly. This actually goes this way, not this way. I'm just showing you for the underside of it, and I'll put that on promptly. It's hard to see how I did that, but what you do basically is take one of those edges and hook it on over the edge, and then push down on the top of the lid until it stretches over, or not stretches, it bends over, and hook it onto the other side. And then what you can do, you're just going to hear it more so, is to push it so that it goes over the tap and up against the tree, and that prevents it from rocking that much. It will rock a little bit in the wind, but that way, I thought I heard dripping, but it hasn't actually. Yep, it actually has started. It's just going to be single drops for a little bit, and not quite there yet. It's probably going down the side. Anyway, this is a maple syrup tap, and the syrup is actually made by boiling down the sap. The sap that comes out is delicious in and of itself. It's a great substitute for water in the spring, a little sweetness. And again, pushing that lid back against, once it's on, it can be sort of shoved over like it's on tracks, pushed up against the tree to cover the tap. And this prevents debris from falling in, water, ice, snow, whatever happens in the next 2 or 3 weeks or a month, depending on how long the taps are in. It can be protective of things getting in it. Insects can fly in, of course, and so forth. And this is why we do first filtering, second filtering, and then a final filtering, running it through papers or whatnot when we do the after the boiling. After a first or second boiling, things also come up during the boiling process and can be skimmed off of the sap as it's boiling down. Thank you for watching, and have a great day. Cheers.